Hi everyone. So I was inspired by Diane over at Indigo Moon Woman to do a tour of my garden because she did a tour of her herb garden, her front garden. I think it's in the front of her house. I don't know. So I thought I'd do a tour of my garden. So many of you know I'm a gardener. I'm an herbalist, so I grow food and herbs. And there's things growing in different spots. So I'm starting here with my main garden, which is in the front yard. So right here we have various squashes. There's also some cantaloupe growing in here. And you can see I've gotten squash blossoms already. There are some budding squash down there. I can do this one-handed. I have baby holding my other hand. So I have squash. This was a transplant tomato. It came on its own. More squash. Got a bunch of carrots. Another surprise tomato. These are poppies coming up. And here there's more squash. So this squash I moved from over where the other squash is because it was surprise squash before I planted my squash. So we'll see what it is. And there we have a little lizard getting some sun next to Garden Ganesh. This is borage right there. And then I have all the mint here. This is all the mint growing. Here I have, you can see, a whole bunch of kale. I harvest like all of this every couple of weeks and cook it up or make kale chips. And then down there, that is German chamomile, purple broccoli. There's more kale. That's actually 3 or 4 year old kale. Some to the left of that, some Roman broccoli. I think there's some cabbage in there. And we got some marshmallow and some wormwood. This is also wormwood here. And then passing through the kales. That's more German chamomile. Got some chard growing, basil, Mizuna greens. There's some parsley over there. And then I have more borage growing with other tomatoes that I've planted. And my peas. And here there's some cabbage there as well. Okay, so now we're in the back. Here I have my raspberries. That's our first little raspberry coming in. Huge, huge raspberry area. There's a couple of strawberries down there, but I'm gonna do a new strawberry patch because those get covered by the raspberries. Raspberry flower. Over here, this wall of green that's growing out of the ground. Those are onions. Those are green onions. So I had green onions growing in the back and it went to seed and I just let it fall down and it's growing out of the wall now. So it's our onion wall. We don't eat those. Here I have some stuff that I'm growing. There's some beets. There's some chives. I put a little borage here as well as companion gardening. And green onions growing, and those are green onions growing from, I don't know if that's coming out very well, from just the roots from grocery store green onions. And then of course you can see I tried to plant leeks, but they didn't take. All right, and here is our giant rosemary bush. How well you can see that in the sunlight, but it's huge. And then I have over on the side yard red clover. I put more carrots in here. And potatoes. Potatoes from the grocery store. We have a little rose bush. We're actually going under it right now. And then there are sunchokes, corn, lemon balm, huge thing of lemon balm. And this is all a mix of sunchokes and some corn coming up here. These are lilies. And then here, this is a bean vine that's growing into the lily here. yeah, I put more carrots here. And there's some tomatoes. You'll see the signs for amaranth and quinoa, but they didn't take, so I haven't taken those out yet. And here we have the lemon tree. I basically have lemons year round. And there's the sagebush and our orange tree. And then I do have a few things left in the greenhouse. I'll let you look at the orange tree here. Most of the oranges left are pretty high up. And then in my little plastic greenhouse, I have some catnip, some rue, and some chives growing that I've already been harvesting from. And then our blackberries. So they have started to flower a bit. I'm not sure if there's any berries on them yet. So that is all my food and herbs that are growing.